everyone. Welcome to the podcast. It's your girl, Pooh, and I appreciate everybody always joining in and being here with us on our podcast. I did choose a topic tonight that I think we all should stop and think about. This is very important. Think about your decisions before you do anything. Topic is about choosing violence. I have my co-hosts Josh, Maya, and Bird, and I'm just going to talk about it. So, first off, hello everyone. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling alive and well.
And I appreciate everybody always joining in.
Hey guys.
Good. Josh, you feeling good over there?
I'm feeling drained, but I'm feeling alive and well, as Bird said. That's all I can say.
All right. And Maya, she'll be back in a moment. But we were going to talk about it in the background a little bit, but I think Bird, what you were going to say was important as well. I'll give everyone the brief rundown after you say. So it's basically choosing violence and when to choose violence. Like, your opinion is good. Never always when to smack someone. Go ahead, Bird. I feel like I talked too much.
Well, so basically, we discuss about what's our definition of violence, when it's necessary to use violence, when it's not necessary to use violence, and why violence is still, to this day, more frequently in this world right now. So that's what we're more discussing about. And for who situation was going on, I guess she having a bad day, and we just discussed it. I mean, it was a good day for you, somewhat, and we discussed about your situation of this personnel who works with you, your coworker, decided to use a very lack of excuse for going on vacation, to use their PTO, whatever it can be, to secure the bag, to make excuse for a COVID-19, which is a very, very serious disease till this day. And in your situation, when somebody tells you this is my excuse because they feel so comfortable with you, such and such, you feel outraged. You feel angry. You feel like you want to slap somebody. So, like the Will Smith slap,
Oh,
yeah.
I put that in there.
I had that in there, but
Okay.
no. So we have to, like, for your situation, I really do understand, and you have every right to be angry. But we need to realize something, that we gotta be very careful of how we express our anger, because anger can lead to violence in some degree. But the way how you said it was, I'm ready to slap you, that could backfire too as well. Because you also threaten somebody, because you say, hey, but basically you put your violence towards the other person, even though you have the right to be angry. So in my definition, what I'm leaving this definition right now is violence is use of the physical force so as to injure, abuse, damage, or destroy. Other definitions are also used, such as the World Health Organization definition of violence as international of physical force or power. Keyword: force or power. Threaten and or actual against oneself or another person, or against a group of community, with either results in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, mental development, and
Man's pulled the dictionary.
There you go. Yeah.
So pulling up the dictionary version for me.
So when we look at violence, I'm looking at it as like keyword force, power, Like Malcolm has said, we gotta use violence by any means necessary. I don't want to use violence. Okay. Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, you are right. I did threaten her. It could have changed in a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell the trainer that I'm gonna have to walk away, and that's my way of being better. Like you were saying, versus just slapping somebody. I chose at that moment to not choose violence and walk away and clear my mind, process, come back with a better attitude.
Okay.
Because the younger me, telling me to choose violence. Hell no, she came at you with this shit. She's talking about she's trying to jeopardize your health. Like, I had the good devil and the bad devil, like on my shoulder, and I chose to walk with the good devil. I walked out. I was like, or the good angel. I walked out the class, and I just sat outside, and I was like, you know what? If it was meant for me to put my hands on somebody, then at that moment I probably would have. But clearly, it wasn't a good move for me to put my hands on somebody. I was allowed to just walk away. So that's a good understanding, Bird. I appreciate you.
Okay. That's no problem. Does anybody else have any their own thing about violence or anything?
I can say that I am not a violent person, but I am a very tempered. Like I have a short fuse.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot to just tip me off, basically.
Yeah.
But of course, there has to be a reason for me to put my hands on you. If you're trying to harm me, then sure, I'm gonna have to fight you or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if
Defend
someone else
your
was
ground, man.
Or what happened?
I said, defend your grounds.
Right, and if someone else was being harmed or whatever, I always feel like I have to do something about that. I don't know why. It's just within me to do something for some reason. Even if it's not my place or something like that, I just feel like I have to do something. But yeah, as for like violence, I don't really find a reason to be violent, to like vandalize property or anything, or to just go out of my way just to hurt someone else for no reason.
Okay.
Pretty much, you know.
Yeah, you're not the one to go out and look for violence.
Yeah, like I'm very quiet. I'm very quiet and shy, so I'm always to myself. But then that's the problem, because I am like that. People would find a way to get to me, to almost make me loud in a way, like almost outburst. And then when you get that, it's not going to be good, because I don't know if you know that, but I don't know if you know the saying, but I do truly believe it, that quiet people are the most dangerous ones. Because you don't know. We're very unpredictable, right? So it's almost like you're not gonna expect what's gonna happen, basically, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, after when I finish and Maya says her part in the whole violence part, I can give like an example if that's okay. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What about you, Amaya? I'm choosing violence.
Say your example, Samantha.
Oh, okay then. There was a few days ago where my neighbor across the street backed his truck into my grandmother's car, and kind of, yeah, you know, and he claimed that her car was parked in his driveway, which it wasn't, because I was there when she parked it. So when I seen the damage, it was like dented on the right side or something like that.
Oh no.
So yeah, it was pretty heavy. And so the guy, it was his father, and then two of his boys that were like my age. And when they came out, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening now. So I was just like, let's just go inside. Let's just go inside. Whatever. And then what was this that she said? She was basically like, she was ready. My grandmother was ready. She had her rings on. She was like, "So what's up? Come on."
Hi, Grandma.
So I'm just like,
Hi, Grandma.
I was like, no. Let's just go. Like I'm like right now in this situation, I don't ever find myself in a situation like that. I don't ever find myself being calm. I always find myself being more alert and more aware, and more like just ready. But at the moment, I was just like concerned for my grandma. I was just like, hey, let's go inside, okay?
let's just go.
But then it was until the father and the two boys started to like approach us. And then that's when I was like, I bet. And then I had to take it upon myself to defend myself and my grandmother. And basically, what had happened after, well, a little TMI here, but the father, yeah, he got a little bit too grabby, and he pulled down my pants, and my left ass cheek stuck out, and I had to pick my pants up right back up in the middle of the whole thing.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's not be dudes.
Yeah. So yeah, because I dropped him. That's why. So it was like as he was getting up, he's grabbing onto my clothes, and he just grabbed my trunks because I dropped them, and he grabbed onto me, and then yeah, my whole left ass cheek stuck out.
It's the cheeks for me.
But yeah, and his two boys really tried it, but they did not prevail. And then after everything, I took my grandmother inside. She was like this. She was like, "Papi, you didn't want my rings?" I was like, "Get inside." Like, she wanted me to use her rings. I'm like, I don't need rings. I got these. That's it. That's all I need. Right. And she was like, I could have had it. I was like, I know, because you literally tried it.
Like,
she has like every ring. She has like these ball rings, like serious ones. I'm just like, she could have like broken someone's skull if that was the case. But yeah, that was like a little example, I guess, you know, like when to, again, it wasn't, again, defending myself, you know, I didn't decide to fight. I had to, because they were advancing towards us. I did not know what was gonna happen. I wasn't gonna wait for something to happen, you know. So I did what I had to do. I did what anyone would have probably done, you know. So
and that's your grandma, bro.
Exactly. I wasn't bugging. If my grandmother gonna fight me, I'm gonna fight too.
What? I just know, like, so in certain situations you can avoid it, but in other situations you cannot.
And like, that was a situation I was trying to avoid, you know, because one, I don't ever want to fight in front of people that I care about and I love, you know. I always try to avoid that, because you're gonna see a different Josh. Okay, you're not gonna see the Josh that's nice, quiet, and sweet and whatever. Okay, you're gonna see someone that's gonna break someone's face if he has to. Okay, especially if I'm being threatened. All right, you're gonna see a whole different side. All right, and I don't like that. So yeah, my grandmother saw that, but at the end she was like, I'm glad that she didn't see me any different. So I was like, yes, okay, she's still my grandmother. She loves me.
Of course she's gonna love you. But it's hard for me to get out of that mode. Like, that's why I don't like to get there. Because
I tend to
kind of black out.
Yeah. I definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, not that I'm on the side of choosing violence. I'm just saying I don't want to be violent, because I know in past situations, like, I've gotten so angry one time to where I was trying to get to this girl, like I was trying to hit her. And I would have if the police wasn't there to yank my ass up. I got so angry at that point, like my cycle came on. That's how angry I was. And I like kind of I got blacked out because I didn't get to put hands.
And that's another thing, you know, I'm sure I've said it before, but just in case if y'all didn't know, I have a disorder called IED, and that plays a big factor when that can like switch up very quickly.
What's
Again,
I
I have a short fuse. It's intermittent explosive disorder. Basically, again, a short fuse. Basically, I get mad very easily, or my emotions, my brain, whatever, it's very unbalanced. So it's like, I could take like for example, like if I'm having an anxiety moment, I get like very anxious and I get upset. Like that's why I can't have like a conversation if I'm arguing with someone, I can't have that talk with them because I know I'm flustered, and when I fluster my words, that's gonna make me more mad, and it keeps going, it builds and builds, and then that's when the whole blackout comes in, and then I don't remember that moment.
That's true. That's the same way.
And like when people say they black out, but they have some kind of memory of it. When I black out, I don't have any memory of during it or beforehand, at least a little bit beforehand of how it happened. And then when I come to, I don't know how I got where I am or what happened beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like memory loss, basically. But yeah.
Alright, see if I got that.
But I guess that's all I have to say.
All right, I appreciate you, Josh and Bird, again. Miss Bacon, whenever you're ready. When to choose violence.
I've never chosen violence. I'm a calm person for the most part, but had two situations come up that I guess I lost violence. As I said to you guys multiple times, the household here is not the best. So, situation broke out between my sister and her significant other, and I had to run back and forth to keep the kids in the room and to keep them from fighting. And I even had to jump in and try to push the person off my sister. So sadly, my brother called the cops, and the cops came, and he tried to say we jumped him. And when the cops came, since my adrenaline was still pumping, I was kind of flipping out still.
Understood.
Yeah. Besides that, another situation broke out the other day, and sadly, Josh was on the phone. But it's been like a consistent dynamic like that my whole life, which makes me want to choose violence, but I don't, because I don't feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
So, as I said with the family member, hey, they've kind of done stuff to me my whole life. But the other day, I got into an argument over my kitty litter.
Yeah.
And I put it back in the bathroom. And then the person started screaming. And then the person's significant other got involved. And I was ready to flip out, but my mom got in the way. And then later on in the day, the person knocked on my door, was like, oh, I need to go into your room to check for the baby's bottle. And I told them the baby's bottle wasn't in here. The person knocked again, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to open it. And I opened the door, and I was like, I'm telling you it's not in here because I checked. And then the person was like, I'll break your fucking face. Just shit like that. Yeah. It's been stuff like that my whole life that makes me angry and want to choose violence, but since the person knows I'm not somebody that stands up for myself or who gets me to stuff like that, they talk to me however and do whatever.
See, it's gonna get to a point to where you are gonna just have it one day and just say your piece.
I've tried multiple times, but I've even tried to talk to my dad about it, but I was immediately shut down. So he always takes that person's side.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, just in general, when you're being pushed way too much, one day someone's gonna get it. And I hope it's not like what Bird was reading earlier, but sometimes that's okay. That happens. We have a point to where we gotta get it out sometimes. Like that's the only best option at this point is to release this frustration.
I think it's years of so much built up anger. I don't want to let it out. I've had people bully me my whole life, and I stood quiet because I was too scared to fight.
I was the same way. I think that's where a lot of my anger comes from back when I was younger. I used to get bullied a lot.
Same, but it happened at school and at home, so it's frustrating.
I understand.
Well, here's the question I had to ask for y'all guys. Well, 2 questions. Number 1, well, 3.
Oh,
Is
we're gonna have to charge you for the third one.
I'm so fired. No,
You-
no. Here's my question: Is violence the answer to everything? Number 1. Number 2.
oh, sorry. I was ready to answer.
Okay. Do we ever use violence to solve the problem? And 3, do we like violence on anything?
Pooh, I guess you can
You
go
wanna
first because
go first?
you were eager to. You were quick on the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to charge all y'all $5.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Go ahead, go.
Nice.
I give you my Bitcoins.
I'm gonna need cash, but I need some money. Like I prefer cash payments, please. So the first question was, do we like violence?
No, is violence the answer to everything? That's the first question.
Actually, okay. Now that I told you I've grown, and I've realized that no, violence is not always the answer to solving a problem, because you will always still be put back in that situation no matter what. And back in high school, where there was a lot of fights going on, it was like these people kept coming at my cousin every day in school. So it was like, all right, we're just gonna handle it. That was it. But no, it just kept coming. Eventually, they told us that if y'all don't slow down with the violence and the acts of what y'all doing in school, you're not gonna graduate. So I was like, you know what, they're right. I don't need to always be like this. And for one, it wasn't my situation. I was just there to defend my cousin because she was always being targeted, and she never knew how to like stand up for herself. Well, she does. She just talked too much crap, and it's like that's how it was. But no, violence is not always the answer. It's always another solution. You can always talk it out if that person is reasonable and willing to listen. But yeah, I don't think violence is always the answer.
Okay. Anybody else got anything? Add on?
But like it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Just a situation.
Yeah.
Well,
What was the second question?
the second question is, do we ever use violence to solve the problem?
I use violence once to solve the problem. But no, it's not. Violence is not the way to solve a problem. Talking is the way to solve a problem. Because what do we always do after or right before we talk it out? Don't work, so hands is next. Still after that, talk.
Can talking lead to aggression? Or we just talking about talking like
You can.
Yeah, talking can definitely lead to aggression, of course. People's tone, people's demeanor, people's hand movements, and way they word things,
Yeah.
it could definitely lead to that.
okay. Anybody else want to add to it?
I'm sorry. I know the question that you asked, but can you say it again? Because I for some reason I'm saying it differently in my head. I just want to
Okay.
make sure I'm answering.
I was
right.
asking, do we ever use violence as a God, I hate my app.
Okay. I remember. Would you consider defending yourself or others as a violent thing to do? Because I mean, growing up, like I was bullied in my household. Ages 10 to 12 to 15, stuff that happened shouldn't have happened. So I'll say like a good chunk of my life, even still to this day, there's some moments where it happens here and there. So I'll say like a good 15 years still, I'm still dealing with all that crap. And as Pooh said, like when you're in high school, you're dealing with all that and you don't have a choice but to defend yourself. And you know how they say like your household is supposed to be like a safe place, but that wasn't like that for me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Josh.
So, and then they say that the school is also your second safe place. It wasn't almost always like that for me as well. I've gotten fights in schools and I've also gotten fights outside of school. And then having to come home just to have a fight at home.
That's frustrating.
So, and it wasn't like only with my brothers or anything like that, but it was always with like other people that weren't in my family. So, yeah, my upbringing wasn't the best. And I guess it kind of shaped me to how I am today, to have a better understanding of like what it is, how like to know the difference between right and wrong, and like this topic here of violence. That's why I was like when I'm like, well, I've been pretty much fighting my whole life. So I don't know. I mean, I could say there was one moment where I felt good fighting someone because he kind of deserved it. He was bullying a student in my high school, and this kid was sitting at the far end of the cafeteria at the table, and he wore glasses. He was reading. He wasn't reading, but like he always had like this little Bible on him on the side of the book bag. And a group of seniors approached him, and they just started to like poke at his head, and then they ended up breaking his glasses because they hit the end of the part here, and the like snapped. And I'm sitting across from him. I'm just like, okay. And they took his tray and they threw it out. So the next day, I took it upon myself, and I approached these 4 people, and I said to one of them, who was, I guess, the leader or the popular whatever, because he played the basketball in our school, a basketball team in our school as a center, I think. And I just looked at him, and I said, meet me in the boys' locker room, since you think it's funny to pick up someone half your size. And his 3 little, I'm not even gonna say it because I'm gonna keep it.
His 3 little followers.
I can say that, but yeah, the show is called that. His 3 little ones, they were like, why not here right now? And I'm like, all right, listen, I don't care about getting detention or expelled. I really don't give no fucks right now. Like at that point in my life, I just didn't care no more about everything or anything or anyone. So I was just with it. Like I'm like, okay, we do it right here right now, but understand something. There's so much shit around me right now that I can use against you. Okay. And a few hours later, I was just waiting in the locker room. Because I said we're boys' locker room, so that we don't get called by the dean or security guards. There was no cameras in the boys' locker room, of course. So
Wow.
yeah, they never showed up, but I called them at the by the train station by the school on Bedford at the store. I shoulder checked one of them, and yeah, that's when I chose. Now that's when I chose violence. Like, that's what I was like. I decided to make the move. I'm like, yeah, I didn't show up. Yeah, a bunch of princess. Uh, so and I went up to the one that I called out, and I just decked him right in his face. Decked, and I busted his whole lip. And then one of them tried to swing on me. He missed, and I pushed his head right into the glass freezer. And the other two, they just stood there, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, waiting.
All right. So what's up now?
So I took his name is Jazzir. I don't know. It started with J. I took him, and I just grabbed his jacket, and I just kind of like dragged him, like, and I like the floor, and then he kind of like little slid towards their feet, and I'm like, take his ass out. And then that's when I decided to choose violence because of what he did to that kid. There was literally no. I really don't like bullies. I really don't like bullies.
We all don't.
I can't stand bullies because I've never been bullied in school. Because for one, people knew not to, and two, I've always been bullied at home, so it was always kind of backwards. You know, like I don't know, but go ahead, Pooh.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm sorry that you and Amaya had to go through that at home, because that is supposed to be a safe place, right? So you got to go home to wind down, and it's there at your house. And another thing I was gonna say is like, defending yourself. Yeah, in that choice, yeah, you are choosing violence, but in the fact of the matter, you have to at that point. You can't just let somebody. You can't let somebody bully you every day, all day. Like I was telling Maya, like it will get to you. One day you will go off on somebody, and that day for you was to watch another bully somebody else. Like, you know, this kid can't defend himself, and you just still egging it on, and that makes you feel all high and mighty because they're smaller than you, and you're choosing violence.
Yeah, he's like I'm 6 feet, right? So this person, he played center, so he was like 6'5", 6'6", and the kid he was bullying was shorter than me. He was like 5'3" or 5'4".
Hey, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me, Pooh. Forgive me. I am sorry.
Okay.
I'm not saying short people can defend themselves, not at all. But in this case, this student, he was in the I believe he was in the 11th grade. So basically, every lunch period, I would have lunch with him, and then I would bring him with me to the weight room where I would work out every lunch period.
Right.
And yeah, he was just there with me all the time, just so I can just make sure that he's okay. Because after what I did, I basically let it known that, hey, if you ever put your hands on him again, this is gonna be the last time. It's gonna be a lot worse.
That's how it was with my brother. Like I was telling y'all the other night, my brother was there to defend me. He wouldn't even let me get a full story out. I would just tell him that person did it, they're the culprit, and he was on them. It was so much. I was getting bullied so much that he didn't care who it was. He was gonna beat them up. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little story time.
Story time.
Okay, I'll get the banner real quick.
No banner. No,
I mean, it'll be quick. So
no, I'm good.
We were on the bus, and I was running to, like, this is after school. I was running to get on the bus because we were leaving from school, and the bus driver was waiting on me. And I don't know, I was just running so slow because I had this big ass backpack on, you know, nerd, small, running with a big ass fucking backpack trying to get to the bus. And I get on the bus, and this kid was like, yo, what the hell took you so damn long? Like, we over here waiting for you. Like, we have to go. And I'm just like, yo, shut up. He's like, who you talking to? I'm like, I'm talking to you. So I'm already huffing and puffing and shit. So we sit down and I started to take out this chocolate bar that I had or whatever. He take it upon himself to tell the bus driver that I'm eating on the bus because we couldn't eat on the bus.
Oh, little
And right, so he's just finding reasons at this point. So bus driver's like, she's driving, just put your chocolate away, and he's just egging on the entire time or whatever. So me and him going back and forth, and he called me the B word, and I was like, what did you say to me? He's like, you heard me, B. And I was like, that's all right. I'm gonna get my brother to beat you up. At this time, my brother already got kicked out of school for fighting. So I told him when I got home, and he was like, all right, show me where he's at. And I was like, I don't know where you live at. So I told him the kid. He was like, I know where you live at. He's like, let's go. My youngest brother, my youngest sister, I think my oldest sister was there too. As we walking through the neighborhood to get to his house, other kids in the neighborhood see us walking too. They're like, yo, well, what's going on? He pulling up his pants, my brother, because he was pissed off. So he's trying to get to the kid's house or whatever. And they was like, oh yeah, he stay right there. So now the whole neighborhood is walking with us to this kid's house. So we get to the kid's house. And this was like after school, so your parents are not there yet. This is the time you would rush home and delete a message off of the phone before your mom did it. So it was about that time. So the kid opened up the door, and my brother was like, so you called my sister a B? He was like, what are you talking about? So I moved behind my brother. I was like, yeah, you called me a B on the bus. So I'm like all behind him, like, yeah. So my brother was like, so that's what you doing? He was like, nah, look. He put his hands up like this, and I guess my brother saw that as a movement too quick. So my brother hit him so hard, it broke the middle of his glasses here. They flung off, grabbed the kid out of his house, threw him in the yard, and just started beating him up. He's like, don't you ever call my sister a B? Well, B ass N-word. I can't say the full thing, but you know.
No, yeah.
And I went over there, got my little kick in. I was like, yeah. that was that. But that day, like my brother, he's like you. He has a very short temper. And even me sometimes be trying to calm him down. I'm like, yo, listen. He's like, nah, man, I ain't trying to hear that. But now I think he got a little older. Let me grab my charger, you guys. I'll be right back. You guys, I think Bird had another question. Oh, snap. My bad.
Hey, yeah, we got a view of Pooh. No, it's not.
Dang, Pooh.
I didn't want to show you butt cheeks or thighs again. My bad. Hold on. Return. Shut up, Bird.
You did it again.
Here we go again.
Oh my God. Where is this?
Why do you just turn off your camera?
I thought that was a button. That wasn't it. It was. Okay, here it is. All right.
Well, she got blue hair? What the heck? How you know she had blue hair like that? Hey, oh, she get roasted today.
Oh.
What?
All right. Somebody, you got something to add on to it? Do you think violence is useful? Do you think violence is always to solve the problem?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like it's always useful, but sometimes I feel like it does depend on the situation, because it's like you get tired of it and it's like, you know what, this is so you know to not mess with me again.
I guess in the way she's putting it, like to make a point, like
because it's like that, and over here at least.
Well, I would say that violence, I'm gonna say it the right way. Violence not always the right answer, but we always like to use our aggression and use towards our mindset to someone that hurt us, so they won't hurt us first. So that could be our psychology of event or situation that we have to accept. Huh?
Psychological.
Yeah, psychology. Excuse me. Thank you.
It's okay.
That's our word. I'm a little off today, but
It's okay.
to how do we solve it? You know, it was like my old sergeant used to say that when we go to war, my first sergeant, when we go to war, you know, I remember the time that I was in a assault mission when I was flying, and all the beliefs that we had, all these chaplains, we go there every Sunday, and we just wishing that we don't get hit while we're flying, because one AK, because usually in Afghanistan they have, every Afghan can have a AK-47. They can have their own weapons for self-defense. But when it comes to like missiles, they have missiles on them. We have to apply to that. Let's put it that way. It wasn't an easy choice. It was a very experience for my team. And when I was holding, it was more towards like, look, I got to get home one way, and sometimes they have family who have their beliefs of how they had to win the war, such and such. So, that's just somehow that we had to conclude of God, Miami, Afghanistan. I can't really want to go all the way back, but
you got
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, man. It's just more like everybody has to have peace, but it's not always the answer. However, the last question is, do we like violence?
No, it scares me.
Okay.
I don't like being in situations like that. I don't like being around situations like that.
Okay.
It just scares me.
I'm sorry. I'll go next.
She was scared from the top of her lungs from like the whole downstairs.
Man, that blue hair got too violent, ain't it?
Oh.
I'm gonna need you to relax. Do we like to choose violence? That's the question.
Do we like violence? Period.
Oh, do we like? Oh, I don't say I like violence. I would say, in other words, yes, I feel great when I get revenge of someone who has been violent me or been bullying me. But I don't go looking for it. Like, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like, I'm not a violent person, for one. But will I wind up slapping someone if I have to? Yes. I've grown to learn how to defend myself. And I refuse to let anyone put their hands on me just because they think that they can put their hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the past. That was it.
Okay. Anybody else?
What about you? You like violence? You asking these questions. You still owe me $5, but
I'll cash app you.
okay. All right. That's coffee in the morning. I'll accept that.
I'll give you IOU cards. But do I like violence? Like you said, I don't like to be in a situation. However, I think we all somewhat like violence. In occasion. I will tell you why. When we young, we like to watch cartoons, right? And, most cartoons they have little violence to make us laugh, make us tear up, enjoy, whatever. And we like movies. Like, I'll give you a prime example. My favorite violent movie is Die Hard.
Bugs
first
Bunny has violence all the time in his.
True. But I like what I see. I like the violence. And we also like violence. I also like violence. I'm gonna speak for myself. Sports.
Mhm.
Sports is a violent. And
Definitely hockey.
hockey is a violent sport, but
Yeah, hockey be the stuff though.
Yeah.
but there's only 5, and I looked this up too. It's like top 5 violent sports in the world.
Yeah, it is.
And hockey is like number 7.
Really?
Yes, hockey is number 7.
I think it's because maybe it's number 7 because they choose violence in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go. You good?
I was just gonna say that it's also praised in hockey. People, believe it or not, people watch hockey solely for the fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like
it's like one every game.
If there's no fight, then they just gonna say the game is boring. But if there's a fight, everyone is on their feet and looking for a bloodbath.
Yeah,
I know I am. I'm just like watching. I'm just like this. As soon as I see the gloves come off, like I'm just like, oh yes, ooh.
And boxing and kickboxing, I love to watch. Like, I love
boxing. I just
right.
Like fighting sport wise, I just love boxing only. That's it.
I've always liked wrestling growing up. That's violence, but my bad, bro.
Well, yeah, but we talk about wrestling. We talk about WWE wrestling.
All of it. All of it is violence, bro. All of it. You're physically punching someone in the face.
Oh, I have played a violent sport. 2 violent sports I played. I was in Taekwondo. Yes, for like 7 years. I was 7 years old. I started doing Taekwondo when I was 14.
Who is this guy? I feel like Bert has a story for everything. Like, what have you not done? Played the violin? Like,
no, I haven't done that. I haven't done. I have served, which swim to the bull sharks. Long story. Plenty of stories for that.
I'm sorry, I heard story. Long story.
I can't with this guy.
No, not this one. But I have played a violent sport on football, and football is probably you could argue it's the number 1, number 2. I say it's number 2 violent sport in America because
the collisions.
Because I like to play football. I like, it's a drill. It's a man. It's like I like when. We started when we was boys. When we was boys, we played like cold football, hockey. I hate the 2-hand. I like the tackle.
I love it.
So we young, we like to tackle football. We don't care if we pull your pants down, where we got to get you down on the ground.
I used to play football with my brothers, and I have a story about that.
Oh, it's a story time?
I mean, it can be I'll wait till you're done though.
Okay. So I got stories on football too, but yeah. I do. But but when I played football for the first time, I don't know what I was doing the first time I was playing football. I was pretty much sucking. But at my junior year I got better. But it was like when I hit somebody, it's like it felt like you were a better man. Like, I'm gonna knock you down, and I want you to feel my pain. I want you to feel my power. I want you to feel my wrath.
In a way, it is like that. Yeah.
And, But at the end of the day, we're friends at the game. But we in the field.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I have no friends when it comes to Uno, Monopoly, and Call of Duty.
Oh, then you and I would be good
it's
friends.
just like that,
in
and
Uno
I don't
and
know
Call of
why
Duty.
everybody think that violence is always the bad thing, but it's a good thing in a good sense. Another violent sport, MMA. Well, I would say
Oh, I
boxing,
love
but
MMA.
MMA is like everybody want to see them blood and
Yeah.
breaking bones. I want to see body slam. I want to see I want to see Craig McGregor get his ass because talking trash. And
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
Because-
Conor McGregor.
I hate him.
Yes.
I used to love him, but I hate him when he had to fight against Khalid,
Why?
Khabib.
because there was two things you never say to a man.
Yeah.
Two things: a man's fate and a man's family.
Yeah.
what?
Family.
Man's fate and his family.
Oh, okay. No, you're right. You're right.
So you taught those two things about a man like that, and you try to tell him in front of his family?
Mhm.
Did he beat him up?
Ooh,
Khabib.
he beat him up. You might want to watch YouTube. Now I'm talking about he did not want him out that cage.
Mhm.
That he put him on the headlock. Craig McGregor, he was like
Would,
woozy, trying to get out, and he was still talking.
of
Yeah.
course.
And I'm like, dude, you just got your butt beat. And I give the man prop. He's trying to be smart. He tried to be the most richest MMA fighter in the whole world. He tried to fight with Floyd Mayweather for what, $50 million, which that's a lot of money for MMA.
Do it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
MMA, yeah. I think he got like 50 mil or something like that. I think Floyd Mayweather got like 200, 300 million.
Yeah, they fought in boxing. It wasn't an MMA fight. It was a boxing fight.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, Floyd can handle McGregor in the ring in boxing.
Yeah.
Because it's just strictly boxing. That's what he was made to do. All right, Conor McGregor is out of his element when it comes to just strictly boxing. So if you just put Mayweather in the octagon with McGregor, McGregor is just gonna keep kicking him and then tackling him and then submit him. That's it.
Yeah. Cause once you put him on the ground, he's done.
Yeah.
And there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, a boxer's not gonna know what to do in that situation. They're not trained to maneuver or wrestle or anything. They're just trained to step in and out, use their hands, and that's it.
Is that
They're
the
not
one
trained to kick.
that didn't want to? I think it was a fight where Mayweather didn't want to fight at first, and then he was like,
Right.
you know what? Let's put 50 bands on. Then is that the same fight? There was a couple that was like that, but
I mean, there was a couple of things he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight Pacquiao at first.
yeah.
And he didn't want to fight Jimmy. He didn't want to fight Triple G. And he didn't want to fight McGregor because McGregor thought it'd be an entertainer, whatever. He also didn't want to fight the YouTuber guy. What's his name?
Jake Paul. I don't
Yeah.
know how they both. Him and his brother, I think, both became boxers now.
And
Yeah, but it was so weird because he was doing it off his show at first.
Was
And
he
it's
doing
like-
good?
actually, Paul is a good boxer, but only thing about that is he's bigger than Floyd. He's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. So
Yeah, he's not in his weight class. And
But,
in the
hold up.
beginning, he wasn't like I think what Maya was saying in the beginning. I don't think he was good because it was just for show. But then I guess he started to like it after the fact. I think it was like his first couple fights after, because he started calling out a lot of people.
Yeah, he did
And
that. I
then-
think one of them did that with Floyd Mayweather. They were trying to fight him, right?
Logan Paul, and he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you
Did
gonna
he
say,
fight?
Josh?
No, that was it. I was just gonna say, like, well, Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather, and you see the sheer size of Logan Paul compared to Floyd Mayweather. Like, you'd never seen Floyd fight someone that big, height-wise, or at least, But Floyd handled it. Like, that's the first time we've seen Floyd having to literally reach just to hit someone.
Mhm.
So you had to see Floyd step out of his element in a weight class to fight someone who is one, overweight, much heavier than him, more taller than him, and bigger than him overall. Okay. And to Logan Paul's credit, he fought Floyd Mayweather. He can literally go his whole life saying that I win at life. I fought Floyd. like he didn't win the fight. Floyd won it, but literally, who can say that they fought Floyd Mayweather?
Well,
Not, especially a YouTuber for one. Okay.
well,
Him and his brother are annoying. Sorry to say.
but how about this, guys? How about this? I heard this one a long time. This is for a while, and I learned this from Australia. It's called Clayco Stoyo. I can't pronounce it, but basically it's about a whole bunch of group of people. It's like rugby, football, soccer, and MMA at the same time, and it all mixed together.
That sounds
Bro,
cool.
I've seen highlights of that, bro. That thing look crazy.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I actually went to the event
Oh
in
man.
Australia.
Alright.
Yeah, and I thought it was just rugby football. Cause rugby football is totally different,
Mhm.
and I played it. It's way different than American football. It's I would say that totally different, but it's kind of similar, but it's not.
Mhm.
But when I saw that event sport, I said,
Wait, type it in the chat. I want to see it.
all right, it's I'm gonna type it in for y'all. It's called if I could pronounce it correctly, CA. I know I pronounced the first one. Hold up. If I could pronounce it right.
I'm gonna pull it up.
If I pronounce it right, it should be right way. But yeah,
Eostorico?
yeah.
You know,
I know it's Calcio something.
Gotcha.
But I saw that event sport. I said you could never see me play and get that sport. I don't care if my life is on the line. Nope. Cause I see
What if
kids.
money was on the line?
No, you can't pay me not amount of
bro.
money to pay. Let me go on that.
That money that he's gonna get is gonna use to hospital bills.
Hospital bill. Why would I get paralyzed?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Your whole
No. No. That's
It's like I like my legs. Fuck that. I'm not.
I like my legs on. They get to break everything.
Nah.
Like there's no refs. It's just a time and people. That's it. Like no.
Crazy mofos.
And they don't care about your weight class or nothing. You can be big or small. Once you in that, it's like what's the gladiator in Rome? What's that called? What they call? God dog it. It's gonna hit top of my head.
I don't even. I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one I saw actually. I saw little highlights of it.
What kind of sport is this?
It looks like so much fun though.
You think it's fun? You play the sport.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh my God.
Kudos.
I will pray for you.
Kudos. But
I think Pooh should be your partner too. I think Pooh should. I
don't think he wants to play.
I think she needs to like be your trainer, be there for you, friend to friend.
I mean, I am that friend that's always down.
Right.
I would try things, but if I break something, I'm out. However, I will take you on Fear Factor and we will fucking get $1 million. Like,
you know what? Okay. I'll try.
Please! I said one time I ate a damn water bug. You quenched in freaking a ball.
No,
How would you?
I still cringe when I see the mega drop, but I still get my ass on there. And I still cringe when I see the cheetah. I still get my ass on there. I'm very adventurous, and I would try.
Are those roller coasters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was real animals for a second. Like,
I think so. I was like, huh?
The Cheetah is what it is. It's the fastest roller coaster.
Mhm.
And the Mega
I'll check
Drop
mine.
is they bring you all the way up here and drop you all the
Yeah,
way
it's
down.
like 80 feet in the air. You drop like 70 miles per hour or something like that.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, no. After that incident with the guy,
The kid. Yeah, that's
R.I.P.
very unfortunate.
that was crazy because that happened right over here, like y'all New York situation, but Orlando, that area, people come here a lot
Yeah.
just for that ride. Y'all know Orlando is like one of the tourist areas.
Yeah, because it has Disney World.
Right. So in his case, what happened to him, they didn't I forget what it's called. They didn't go in, you know how you check everybody's ride to push it down.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They were trying to say that it's because he was overweight or whatever. But if he was overweight, one, why didn't you let him get on the ride? Two, still, why didn't you check to make sure like his thing was fitting? If it wasn't, be like, hey, you know, X, Y, and Z, you can't get on the ride. Just for your safety, sir, I don't want you to fall off. Not even just you don't even have to say it's because of your weight. You can say it nicely, like, I don't want you to fall off or anything like that. Your holster thing is not clicking right, and I think the best option for you is just to not get on the ride.
No, those people are awful. How can you say all that?
I have a video of that actually.
Did the person die? Is the person okay?
Yeah, he died.
He died at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he died immediately on impact.
No.
Nah, he died in the hospital.
Yo, Pooh, did your rib tattoo get itchy?
Huh?
Did your rib tattoo get itchy?
No, I kept putting A&D ointment on it. Like every time it would itch, I would put A&D.
I can't even take it off though.
Yeah, they told me that I took that shit off. Okay, so this is it here.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no video, but oh shoot, I'm sorry, I let y'all miss it.
Okay.
This is me screen recording it from someone's Snapchat.
Oh,
But it plays again.
Somebody you know was there?
I don't know this person, but
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
but the person that I recorded from had it on their Snapchat.
Really? He just walks calmly like that? I would have rushed to him or immediately just called 911.
Y'all see, like no one is here at the post. That's where the buttons are.
Fucking assholes.
It'll show one more time. At first, I thought he committed suicide, and I'm sorry to say that, but I kind of thought he just looked like he jumped off. But I'm gonna play it one more time. So that's him. And he fell from a pretty good distance. Like,
yeah, at least 40, 50 feet high.
So the ride, how it is, it tilts back right before it's going to come down. So when it's dropping you, it tilts.
He probably had his hands up and then just thought when he dropped, he probably just thought that it'd be secure, then it gets the seat as well. Now, if he would have held on to the thing like he should, he probably would have been all right.
No, because what happens is that again that ride is a new ride actually in that park, and it's the tallest one in the world, 80 feet high, and it drops the fastest in the world, which is 75 miles per hour. How that ride works is that it takes you all the way up, and it drops just boom. And what happens is that the hydraulics that are built on that machine on that ride, it just abruptly stops, and then it brings you right back up, and then it just drops. Whenever, and then it stops, and then it brings you right back up again. So if you see that it stops. And
Mm.
then if think about it, if you was to hold on to it still and you're dropping 75 miles per hour and the thing stops abruptly, holding on to it wouldn't even have kept them in the seat.
Yeah, eventually, because I think it takes you up two or three times, and that's it. When you finna get off, the ride tilts back, and then it comes down to like the end, so you can
Okay.
get off. But even I've been on a mega drop, and I'm small as shit, and the seat that I sat in, it didn't click. So I was doing like this the entire time. But the guy, he did come around and eventually pushed it in. Because I was finna crawl the fuck out and get in another seat. I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing it. I'm finna get in another one. But he came over and he snapped it and then he clicked it. That was a mega drop. That was the last time I got on a mega drop. And
never again.
Those rides are so crazy. Like, I can laugh now because I'm done with it. But one year at Halloween, I think it was Universal.
Mhm.
And this one kid showed me up, bro. Like, I was so angry. He gets on the ride, and it was one of the roller coasters that go like that, all crazy and shit. We
Yeah.
get on the ride, me and my sister screaming like our life depended on it. And this fucking little kid is like 7 years old, tiny as shit in the seat, and he's just looking at me like, are you kidding me? Like, you're sitting here and you're like, he literally,
Yeah, kids are hilarious.
here, and I see his little eyeballs just look over at me. That's how small he was in the ride, and I'm just, "Ah!" And he's like, ma'am, the ride is over. Calm down. And I'm like, oh shit, it went under.
He said that to you? Or was
Yeah,
this
he's like, just relax. And I'm like,
wow? These kids nowadays are rude as shit.
right, I'm
Who
like,
you telling?
who
These
are
kids
you?
nowadays are brave.
I work with
brave.
kids.
No,
I
I'm
can say that
saying, like,
even more.
he gets off the ride all brave, like, I kid you not. This little kid walked away like he was the shit, because I was over there screaming. I like to make noises and shit to make it, exciting or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
part of it was a little bit of exaggeration, but other part of me was like, hell fuck no, I'm about to lose my fucking heart. It's gonna go to my ass. I can't.
Guys,
ahead.
make a wish. It's 11/11.
Oh, I need to make a picture about that.
Okay. You guys can start talking if you finish.
I am.
Oh,
Josh was gonna say something.
go ahead, Josh.
Oh,
You don't forgot.
I didn't forget about you, Josh. I pay attention on you.
No, you know how people on roller coasters, they scream just to make the ride more entertaining for themselves, and they have their hands up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Oh, Pooh, you're one of those people. All right, cool. So one time I sat next to a stranger, a girl, right, and she's screaming. I look right at her, and I'm just like, with no expression, just staring at her. I'm not screaming. I'm just looking at her. And the whole time, because my brother's behind me recording me, and they, like, I don't know what it is. For me, when I'm on roller coasters, I don't scream. I just like to stand there, blank face, just like standing there. And then, like when they take the pictures of you as you're on the roller coaster? Like, I don't know if y'all ever had those kind of...
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
get you at least suspect it.
Yeah,
Horrible
I always like
pictures.
to look at the pictures of me just standing there, sitting there, just blank face, just expressive, like with no expression. I don't know why. I just like to do it.
You remind me of that one guy that was on that video, and he's currently kind of a meme. And it was this white guy. Everyone on the ride was going crazy. The ride is going back and forth, up and down. He's just like,
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm just like
he was so sad. Like, I'm like,
I,
That
I, let,
was awkward as hell.
I let my
it
neck just go everywhere
was.
it goes. I'm just like,
That's awkward.
I can't be on the ride with you, Josh. I would be like, you mean to tell me like this has you not even the slightest bit of facial expression, not even like, oh shit, that part caught me off guard. Like,
Nah, I'd be like this, scared. I'm like shaking.
no.
I'm
I
like,
still
close
know.
my
No, I
eyes.
still know
I'm scared of
expressions.
heights. I'm scared of heights. Because it's like
I'm
you go
like-
up, and then I close my eyes, and I'm like,
Is it over?
yes.
Oh, I used
But
to be
it's
scared of
fun
roller
at the same
coasters.
time. Oh my gosh, actually. We went to a water park like almost 2 years ago. Oh shit, wow. It's almost 2 years ago.
But yeah, that's how I am on. That's how I am on big rides or fast rides. I don't know why.
What'd you say, Amaya? You went to a water park and what happened?
Yeah, I went to a water park and we went down the really big slide, and one of my friends basically almost flew out. You saw him like fly a tiny bit. Huh?
Like Respucia did?
Oh shit. But he did it at the top. Like he jumped a little and he slid and he went straight down. He's like, oh my gosh, guys, I almost flew out. Like we saw him. If he kept going, he would have went like
Oh,
like,
hell
the bottom
no.
part. Yeah.
Rip. I got a question.
What's up?
So the question for tonight is, would you guys bungee jump?
Yes.
I have bungee jump. Actually, I did airsoft. Yeah, I did bungee jump, whatever. I did that. Yeah,
Wow.
I was in the army. Yes.
You're fired.
Obviously. You see that over there?
The door. I ain't seen that in a long time.
It's okay. It's always there.
Wow, we were just talking about Jake Paul and his brother. Something just came up about Logan Paul. He said he just confessed something at Coachella.
Yes, I will bungee jump. I will what do they call it? Jump out of the airplane?
Skydive.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, most
Actually,
definitely.
I saw a thing of somebody that did that.
My dad done that.
I'm scared of heights. So.
You need to get you out. You need to compress your fears.
I do.
I
for
guess
the most part.
the most life-threatening things is what excite me the most. I don't know why. Like bungee jumping, something can happen. Skydiving, something can happen. But it's just the risky things that I like to do. I don't know why.
I
It's the
wouldn't.
thrill of it. That's all.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
I get.
in the moment, I wouldn't be thinking about something's about to happen. My thinking is that I got to get out the fucking plane and I have to fucking land. Like, it's a must.
Yeah.
I don't care if I land in the damn trees and get scratched the fuck up going the way down. Like, it's okay.
Because I used to run in subways, like in the train station. I used to run in subways, in the tunnels. And then there were a few encounters where the train would come and like I had nowhere to go, so I had to like literally dart as fast as I can. And it's like an adrenaline rush. I'm an adrenaline junkie. That's what you call it. Like we thrive off it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to jump off from roof to roof. Like I don't know.
So
When I
you're
was in
one
high
of those
school,
people that be running around just jumping off stuff. I forget exactly what it's called, but
It's not parkour. That's what you're thinking, no, right?
oh, I think so.
No, I would just do it just because. Like I said, I do not care about anything, and I just do it. And I'll be like, well, fuck it, whatever happens. I'm fuck it. That's how I thought about it.
You're crazy.
What's that sport where they jump out of the plane? However, they're like they have these like parachute thingies on, like only here, like on the flaps of your arms.
Wingsuit
Right, and they
or squirrel flying, some like squirrel something.
What
Yes.
about it?
I
Flying
would do
squirrel. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's
I don't
what
think
it's
it's a
called.
sport, but it's a event.
Yeah, it's
I
an
would.
event. Yeah, like, they'll like go so close to the trees and maneuver between them and like mountains and all that. It looks pretty cool. If I
I don't
know,
mind try that. I
if
want to
it,
try that one day.
yeah, if I know how to do it, I would definitely do it myself. Like,
I would definitely do it. All right, I have to throw in the final thought, guys. However, I do appreciate y'all opinions in the violent situation, and I'm glad that I did walk away like I did, because that lets me know
you
that
have matured.
right, I'm growing. I've made a wise decision, and I can do this. And if it comes down to it in the future, I can definitely. That was like a testing limit for me. I know I can walk away.
But let her try it
Everything
again though. That's different. I'm sorry.
facts, because it's embedded up here. That means a second time. That means it seems
Oh, you
like it was
tryna-
meant to happen at this point.
Mhm.
Kidding, but
No.
Maya says no. But I appreciate you guys' opinions, giving me a open mind, better decision on things. So I appreciate it. And I'm gonna pass it on to Josh.
I'm sorry.
Your
The
final
final
thoughts, sir.
thought. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. I didn't
That'll
know,
take away
but
that $5 that you owe me. Actually, all y'all owe me.
okay, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, it's actually weird to hear people's idea of the term violence, because when normally when people think violence, they instantly think about vandalizing property or physically harming someone,
Right.
as the meaning of violence is. You know, that's what it is pretty much. At least that's how I see it. But you know, again, it's and to also hear Bird about speaking on it and like how different it is for other people. You know, like people can choose violence for certain situations, which is depends. Like in my case, like I said about the whole bully thing with that student, I decided to choose violence simply because he was bullying this kid that was 5'4", did not know what to do with himself or whatever, and I just took it upon myself to make it known that this is not going to happen again. This will never happen again, as long as we're here in this school together. Because he was a senior and so was I.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty much it.
Appreciate your opinion and your due diligence, sir. Who do you want to pass it off to?
Go Bird, because he already cooking up
Like, he was
pins.
so
He
ready. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Just follow me. All right. I'm gonna say this. This is a very wisdom thing to say. If you need violence to enforce your ideas or opinions, then your ideas, your opinions are worthless. You know, meaning that no matter how violent you can be, you know, the success you will probably lead to is to intimidate other people, and it's just meaningless. So, yeah, you might think there's always a quote of two wrongs don't make it right, or right, let's make it right. You know, there's always a way to acknowledge the courage of your ideas and your knowledge of your peacefulness. So if you let somebody disturb your peace, then you just let the other violent person intimidate your winning.
And they win.
Mm-hmm.
And they win. Because they meant to get you there.
But your life is important too as well.
Yes.
You always grow it back. That's my final thought.
Appreciate that, sir.
You are so wise. I love it.
Thank you.
You literally teach me something new every single time. So I honestly appreciate it.
I'm learning myself, physically and mentally.
Gotcha. All I'm gonna say is hope you guys get some rest. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And yeah,
As always, I appreciate you all being here. Again, I know y'all probably tired of us saying it, but Rona is still out there. So
Yes.
is
be
it as severe though?
oh yeah, that one person's still here. But guys, wash your hands, wash your ass, wash your grits. It is a thing because you have crevices. And be mindful of everyone else when it comes to you being sick. Don't get nobody else sick just because you're sick and you feel bitter. Like, just stay home.
Yeah.
But other than that, I appreciate y'all. Stay blessed and see y'all in the next podcast. We out.